Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he probably was like, we don't want Kyrie to leave. Like, but if Kyrie said, I don't want to be here, he probably was like, fuck it, he don't want to be here.
You know, every time you play with LeBron, it's going to be a lot of media attention. It's going to be a lot of back and forth of narratives. It's going to be about a lot of spun narratives. It's going to be a lot of politics. It's going to be a lot of shit that a lot of people don't see in front of the camera.
Man, Bron dropped the marker and just lays back in his chair for about 10 minutes. Doesn't say a word. Like, just pissed off.
Wait a second. What if the entire story you've heard about the split between Kyrie Irving and LeBron James is wrong? What if the idea that LeBron was devastated by Kyrie's departure was never the truth, but instead a carefully built PR narrative? Now, 3 NBA insiders have stepped forward, and their revelations could completely rewrite the tale we've been told for the last 8 years.
So I come sit next to Bron. We sitting there, handling the phone, Sports Center. Kyrie Irving's just been traded to the Boston Celtics. Man, Bron dropped the marker and just lays back in his chair for about 10 minutes. Doesn't say a word. Like, just pissed off. And Bron was crushed. And I saw when that happened, I thought things would I thought Bron would do something different, sooner than later. And that's what he did.
So you believe LeBron would have stayed in Cleveland had Kyrie stayed in Cleveland?
Yes. I think so.
Damn.
Tyronn Lue once sat down with Shannon Sharpe and shared a dramatic story. He described LeBron James at a jersey signing event for his foundation, hearing the news that Kyrie Irving had been traded to Boston. According to Lue, the moment was crushing. LeBron dropped the marker from his hand and sat in silence for 10 minutes, stunned by the loss. The narrative painted LeBron as devastated. But here's where the story takes a wild turn.
I'm starting to believe, I know LeBron get people traded, but I don't think he be knowing everything. Like, sometimes he be like, he probably don't care, bro. Like, to be real, like playing basketball, you really don't care about other people.
Former NBA guard Jeff Teague just blew that story wide open. Speaking with the confidence of someone who knows how players really think behind closed doors, Teague delivered a take that flips the whole narrative on its head. Looking straight into the camera, he said what many had quietly suspected all along. He probably didn't care, bro. He was already planning on going to LA anyway.
So, like, when he go home, he probably like, hey man, we need this person, we need that person. Yeah. And then after a while, he probably like, I don't give a all right, bro.
And Teague wasn't finished. He went even deeper, tearing down the myth of NBA friendships. According to him, players are professionals before anything else, and once the cameras are off, the relationships often look very different. To be real, Teague explained, when you're playing basketball, you really don't care about other people. You honestly don't.
Like, to be real, like playing basketball, you really don't care about other people. You honestly don't. Mook, you know that.
No, we don't. But Bron, his situation a little different.
And this isn't just outside speculation. It's coming from someone who lived inside those locker rooms and understands exactly how the NBA really works.
Once again, if he had enough rings to be considered the greatest, it would be okay. This is a typical LeBron. He doesn't feel like he's going to get there, and that's going to be held against him, so now he's going to downplay the ring. He's talking about winning rings, because that's what he wanted to win.
But it doesn't stop there. It gets even more explosive. Rob Parker, a longtime critic unafraid to challenge LeBron James, has been laying the foundation for this revelation for years. Parker has repeatedly called out what he sees as manufactured emotions and carefully calculated moves. From his perspective, LeBron's reactions aren't raw feelings. They are performances designed to shape a narrative.
So he's had AD and Luka on his squad, and he's 2-12 in the NBA playoffs. And he looked all of 40 last night. I got one message to LeBron James. A, you deserve all of this because you keep messing around with the teammates, the roster. At least you won a championship with AD. Messing around with the roster, messing around with the coaches. Told Darvin Ham, who took you to the Western Conference Finals and won an in-season tournament, you'll hang a banner. He was no good. You get your podcast partner, JJ Redick, with no experience.
Now let's look at the evidence that's been right in front of us. On a recent Twitch stream, Kyrie Irving himself pulled back the curtain on what it's really like to play alongside LeBron James. When you're playing with somebody like Bron, or the guys you compare him to, it's a different animal, a different journey, Kyrie said. He explained that being LeBron's teammate comes with constant expectations, heavy media attention, endless narratives, and plenty of behind-the-scenes politics that fans never see.
When you're playing with somebody like Bron or somebody that you guys like to compare him to, it's a different animal. It's a different journey. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're automatically expected to be at the top of the charts, the top of the league. You know, every time you play with Bron, it's going to be a lot of media attention. It's going to be a lot of back and forth of narratives. It's going to be about a lot of spun narratives. It's going to be a lot of politics. It's going to be a lot of shit that a lot of people don't see in front of the camera.
Now step back and think about the timeline. By then, LeBron knew the Warriors with Kevin Durant were virtually unbeatable. He also knew Cleveland's championship window had already closed. As Jeff Teague put it, he probably didn't care. He was going to LA anyway. In other words, LeBron already had his exit strategy mapped out before Kyrie even asked for a trade.
The reason why I say I would have loved to play with Kobe, because I would have loved to have started my career.
Here's the twist that could change everything. What if LeBron actually wanted Kyrie gone? Think about it from a strategic angle. LeBron knew Cleveland wasn't going to survive the Warriors super team. So what better narrative then? My co-star abandoned me. It gave him a built-in excuse for the losses that followed and set the stage for his move to Los Angeles as the misunderstood, betrayed superstar. Tyronn Lue has even said he begged Kyrie to stay, hoping the duo could be the next Kobe and Shaq. But Kyrie's exit created the perfect storyline for LeBron's future plans.
But that's like another Kobe and Shaq situation. I would never let it happen.
You're right.
Like, and I begged and pleaded. You know, Kobe.
LeBron said he begged and pleaded,
too.
said, hey, don't trade him. He still got a year on his contract. Don't trade him.
But what if Tyronn Lue was the only one doing the pleading? What if, behind the scenes, LeBron was quietly setting up his own departure, letting Kyrie take all the blame for splitting up the championship duo?
Bron was doing an autograph signing with jerseys and stuff for his foundation. So I come sit next to Bron. We sitting there, handling the phone, Sports Center. Kyrie Irving's just been traded to the Boston Celtics. Man, Bron dropped the marker and just lays back in his chair for about 10 minutes. Doesn't say a word, like just pissed off. And Bron was crushed. And I saw when that happened, I thought things would I thought Bron would do something different, you know, sooner than later. And that's what he did.
So you believe LeBron would have stayed in Cleveland had Kyrie stayed in Cleveland?
Yes. I think so.
Let's dig deeper into this so-called conspiracy, because the closer you look at the timeline, the more suspicious it all appears. This is LeBron James we're talking about, the same man who orchestrated the decision in 2010, masterminded the creation of Miami's super team, and timed his return to Cleveland down to the exact release of his Sports Illustrated letter. Nothing LeBron does is random. Every major move is calculated, deliberate, and part of a bigger plan.
Because no matter how much money you got, no matter how famous you are, no matter how many people admire you, at the end of the day, being a black man in America is very frightening, and it lets us know that we got so much further to go to be equal in this country.
LeBron James is not smart. He's a basketball player. He's reveling in pretending to be a victim. He hasn't been a victim at any point in his lifetime.
Now take a closer look at what was happening behind the scenes in Cleveland during that final year. Multiple sources revealed Kyrie grew increasingly frustrated with the team dynamic. But here's the wild part. Very few people ever discuss how LeBron responded. Did he fight to hold the partnership together? Did he step up with those heart-to-heart conversations that true leaders are known for? Or did he simply let the breakup unfold?
LeBron James has got to be pissed. We all know Kyrie Irving got traded to the Dallas Mavericks, but when you see that trade package, you'd think the Lakers were able to get it done. The Mavericks traded Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, a first-round pick in 6 years in 2029, and a couple second-round picks, and they landed Kyrie Irving. They got Luka, their second star. I know LeBron's about to be pissed because this seems very realistic. Something LeBron and the Lakers could have figured out. And who knows, AD, LeBron, and Kyrie, they might have been able to win a championship this year.
Jeff Teague's bombshell about pro athletes not caring about teammates the way fans imagine hits differently when you line it up with LeBron James' track record. This is the same player who's switched teams 4 times, each move timed perfectly to maximize his brand and his legacy, and here's where it gets truly diabolical. Teague revealed something almost everyone overlooked. LeBron already knew his plans. He wasn't reacting to Kyrie's exit. He was already plotting his Hollywood move while still presenting himself as Cleveland's loyal son. Then comes the smoking gun nobody wants to talk about. Within hours of Kyrie's trade, LeBron's camp leaked that emotional story about him dropping a marker and sitting in stunned silence. That's not a spontaneous moment. That's narrative management at the highest level.
There's video evidence of my teammates basically saying like,
I don't think you can really just bring a high school player in and really just think your team gonna really turn around like that. You just hop on our bandwagon.
he's not ready, or there's...
We have better players than him in his position already on our team, bro.
Or there's somebody playing his position, or we're not putting all our faith in the 18-year-old kid. My own teammates that I had to be on the floor with, practicing with, on the planes with. Like you said, you want to say hate, but just like animosity towards me. And I didn't come in with that type of aura. I just wanted to come in and learn from the vets and then put the work in.
Think about it logically. If LeBron was truly devastated, would his first move be to let his inner circle leak emotional details to the media, or would he process it privately, like any normal person would? The sheer speed of that story hitting the press doesn't scream heartbreak. It screams calculated PR. It was damage control, a prepackaged narrative designed to frame LeBron as the betrayed victim before anyone could question his role in the breakup. And here's where it gets chilling. Rob Parker has been calling this out for years. He's argued that LeBron's so-called raw emotions are often nothing more than manufactured performances, perfectly timed to protect the King's image.
That Kyrie found out that after they won the championship, LeBron wanted Kyrie traded for Chris Paul.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, right? Wanted him traded. And I think that he found this out, and it cut him deep, and there's no trust. This makes sense on why Kyrie would want to move on and want to move away from the greatest player on the planet.
Parker has been relentless, hammering the same point for years. LeBron's public reactions aren't raw emotions, they are performances. Every tear, every stare, every soundbite is carefully designed to protect the image, to shield the brand. When Parker says LeBron doesn't want to be criticized, he's not just throwing shade, he's exposing the deeper truth. Every LeBron story, every leak, every headline is part of a script, one that always casts him as the misunderstood hero.
And I applaud Kyrie. I think this is if this trade does happen and he gets to go to another team, I will give him a lot of credit for bucking the trend that LeBron started, which is piling up, going to play with all these super teams just to win a championship. Here's a guy saying, first of all, I have a championship in my pocket. And he didn't hitch onto LeBron's wagon to get it. He made the big shot to win that championship for Cleveland.
But let's flip the script for a second and put the spotlight on Kyrie. Because in his recent revelations, Irving dropped something chilling. He looked right at the camera and said, "When I'm done playing, you guys will hear the real story." The real story,